Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the YouTube channel here in Art of Davi. So it's the new year. I was going to do a video yesterday, but I actually ended up watching the full season of Mireko-chan. Mireko-chan. It's a horror slash. It's kind of a comedy too, fantasy anime, and even before that, I watched the saga of Tanya the Evil. So I basically watched in the end of the year while doing, YouTube videos, obviously, trying to be productive. I was also, diving in on some anime that I thought was, or I think is pretty interesting. And so yeah, I did finish Mireko-chan, and I'm super glad I watched it because it's, I just like watching anime. It makes me feel good. And obviously, if the anime is good, it's going to feel even better. So what's my message for this 2024, since we're starting the new year? Now, I did a video a few days ago, 4 days ago, on what you can do aside from having a New Year's resolutions, because you don't have to wait for the new year to change. And essentially, in that video, you can watch it. I'll link it in the description below. Essentially, I mentioned how you just need to have more discipline, and you need to develop your own set of habits or routines. And I think that's a much better way than essentially wishing to change in the following year. And obviously, I think the even bigger point is you don't have to wait for a special day or a special moment to start your journey or to change course. So every day you have a chance to change. So it doesn't have to be the actual new year. You don't have to wait an entire year for you to start changing. But since this is the 1st of January 2024, yay! What's my message? What should I say? I've been taking some notes in my Notion. I do recommend Notion. I am not sponsored by this program or this software or this app, but if you're struggling with trying to organize your life, I do recommend Notion. And it's my go-to app when it comes to, because I've tried so many apps like in Evernote, some extensions on like Chrome or Brave, a browser, and even some other software. But also Google Drive, Google Docs and such, Google Sheets. I've tried all those things, but I think Notion really does lead in this way of organizing your thoughts, ideas. And I think that really has helped me, especially also with the channel. It helps me become more it's a great way for me to organize my ideas when it comes to my art, when it comes to my channel. So if you're struggling in this new year and you're trying to set your feet in solid ground, I do recommend trying to organize stuff or your ideas and thoughts with Notion, or you choose the program or the software that works for you. So yeah, I was writing in one of my notes here, and I think if there's one thing I should mention is that if you want to be something or someone, you don't have to wait to be that thing. Now, I know that sounds somewhat passive, so I'll try saying it differently. If you want to be, say, an artist, then live your life, live this day as an artist. If you want to be a YouTuber, then live your day as a YouTuber. You don't have to wait for this special, you don't have to wait 5-10 years for you to be established, because I think we all have a vision of, or an ideal of what we should look like years ahead. But I think as much as that's inspiring, and as much as it can help pull you forward or move you forward, I think it stunts you, or it can stunt you, because that pressure comes from seeing that gap of, it's the gap between where you want to be and where you are right now. And chances are, if you're a dreamer, somewhat ambitious, that gap is going to be big and large, and it's not going to feel good. And oftentimes you'll end up just procrastinating because of that weight and that pressure. As much as you want to have ambitious goals, big goals, as much as you want to dream big, I do want to emphasize that You don't have to wait to get there. You just have to be the person who you say, or just be and act on the person you want to be. For example, I'll use my YouTube channel. I don't have to wait for my 100k subs, or my maybe 1 million subs. I don't have to wait for that number or for that set of subscribers. I don't have to wait to be monetized and such. I can just do YouTube videos, and if I do make videos and I upload them daily, and I live my life, or make YouTube as a part of my daily life, I'm already living my goal. And I think that's something that I've been missing. It's me waiting for that end goal to just kind of happen, or I'm always anticipating for that day to come. And I think I'm robbing myself of actually living in the moment and just doing the thing that I want to do. And that's the problem with goals. As much as they're inspiring, sometimes it takes you out of the present moment. And once you've actually achieved your goal, it feels like you've wasted all that time because you weren't present in that pursuit. So just a warning to as much as goals are important, you want to be there in the moment. So if you want to be an artist and you've decided that this kind of lifestyle is something that's for you, then practice living that lifestyle. You have to live and act on that lifestyle. So for example, if you're an artist, if you say you're an artist, then obviously you need to do things that an artist would do. That would mean maybe sketching daily, practicing, doing illustrations, studying, researching, world building, studying anatomy, whatever your thing is. You have to do that thing, or do things that are under your identity. You need to perform in a way that affirms who you say you are. I remember reading this concept by James Clear. He's gotten big now, but I remember in one of his old blog posts, he talks about this, how you can have identity-based goals or performance-based goals. Maybe I'm misremembering, but the point here is you want to have more identity-based goals. So instead of just saying, I'll work out in this way, yada yada yada, you could just say, I'm an athlete. So you want to start there as your main core and then work your way out of that. And the reason why is it's just much more powerful. And even if you stray in terms of your actions, if you have a strong goal that's based on an identity, it doesn't really matter what you do, because a lot of what you'll do will be aligned with that identity of yours. So for example, if you say you are an artist, even if you study something different, maybe you're more into anime, but maybe sometimes you want to study concept art or something. Even if you do stray, even if it feels like you're straying away, in the back of your mind, you're always affirming that singular identity, and that's being an artist. In this year, I do want to encourage you to really decide who you want to be. It doesn't have to be your entire identity, obviously, but if this thing is your thing, this whole creative, artistic kind of if this world is your thing, if you can't stop thinking about it, if you can't let it go, if it's a recurring thought, if you're not being paid to do this and yet to do it, if you don't struggle with talking about this subject, I think these are signs that, oh shit, maybe this space, this creative, artistic, a beautiful space, maybe this is your thing. So if you know that there's something there, you have to decide. Because none of this can happen if you don't decide on this identity of yours. And I remember hearing this quote, you'll know something is decided when it's done. I think that's I'm paraphrasing, but you'll know if you decided on something if you're actually doing the thing. So if you feel like, or if you haven't done anything in terms of reaffirming who you say you are, then you haven't really decided yet. For example, since the past week, the day or the week before the new year, since I've been posting somewhat consistent YouTube videos almost daily, even if I'm not in my, even if I'm not a big YouTuber, the fact that I have these videos, it affirms and shows that that I have decided on something, that I am pursuing this thing. I'm not just saying it. I have proof that I'm pursuing this path. So as much as you want to have an identity, you want to be able to reaffirm and that identity through action. You can't just be, obviously all talk and no walk, right? So that's just something that I think can help you. You'll know when you've decided, when you've done it or are doing it. So if you want to be a YouTuber, maybe you're interested in doing what I do, and you just want to get your work out there in terms of videos, maybe you're into, like video content, then obviously you can join me here and make your own channel and start posting videos. Just by posting videos consistently, it doesn't have to be daily, maybe a few times a week or maybe one time a week, who knows. If you have a set of videos on your channel, if people can see that you're uploading somewhat daily or consistently, meaning they can anticipate when you're likely to post, then you're basically a YouTuber. You may not be the biggest guy in the room, but that's not really the point of this episode or this idea. If you want to be something or someone, then act like that someone. I guess that's my point. So if you've decided to be an artist, then you have to do what artists do. So whatever your art is, whatever your medium is, you need to be spending time with that medium. You need to be making a lot of iterations. You need to be experimenting almost daily, I think. If you're into, if you want to work on your social media, whatever your platform is, whether it be YouTube, Twitter or X, Instagram, then obviously you have to be making content in those platforms. So for me, as much as I'm satisfied with where, so far, as of this recording, I'm satisfied with the direction of my channel. I also want to make memberships a solid part of my brand. A lot of artists have Patreons, and I do have a Patreon, but there's nothing in it. And so obviously I need to be making some kind of exclusive content. And I've also, maybe if you've been here a while, I'm also interested in doing, somewhat risky artwork, because I do have a certain side, that perverted side, and I've seen this in my work, in my old sketchbooks. It's just something that I naturally kind of do, but now that I'm trying to make it a part of my goal or a part of my lifestyle, and I want to integrate it into my own life, there's that hesitation. And to be honest, I haven't really been diving on that side of myself. I want to, reach the levels of some big name. This may be crude to some of you, but if you've been here a while, you know that I'm kind of perverted. I want to be one of those big name, not safe for work artists. I want to establish a position in that space. Maybe not fully, because I'm thinking of Kim Jong-gi, because Kim Jong-gi, he can pretty much do, RIP by the way, he can pretty much do anything, but he's also known for his more risky artwork. So I want to have that bit of freedom and diversity, because I'm afraid that I might get stuck, or I might feel in the future that it's too constricting. So I want to expand my identity a bit. So for example, for this channel, I'm doing a bunch of videos, and especially with the art hangout series, it's pretty random, but I think because of this flexibility, this diversity or variety of content, it gives me that leeway to be a bit more free. And I think that freedom can actually help me, or it does help me, be more disciplined or more consistent in my output, because I don't have to I'm not stuck doing one thing. So maybe that's also something you're struggling with, right? So just make sure, maybe just add a bit of more freedom, more flexibility in your workflow or in your process. And I think that can help you just push on a bit more further and be more consistent with your work. So yeah, I want to establish that part of me, the whole Patreon or subscribe star, not safe for work stuff. Obviously it's exclusive for a reason, because it's adult and stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to juggle a bunch of things here. I don't want to just do the whole erotic types of artwork, but I'm also interested in educational videos, which I do like to do. You can tell by this channel. Like, I just like looking at art, studying, practicing, doodling, learning from my own mistakes. I'm trying to build up this larger brand. Or I'm not really intentionally building my brand, but I think I just want to make sure that there's a holistic side to me. I don't want to get stuck doing one thing. And I think by following my own curiosities, I think that's what will naturally lead to my overall brand image. I think when it comes to your branding, you need to have some values, some principles, sure, but just make sure you're following your core curiosities and allow them to expand, to grow, and maybe for some parts to wither away. And just follow that path, and I think you're going to also build a better sense of an identity in this creative space. That's also something that I'm trying to do. Maybe not so specifically, but I think it's what I'm doing now is contributing to that larger idea. So yeah, because I'm not working on my membership content, my exclusive, not safe for work content, I can't really call myself a not safe for work artist, right? Maybe I can call myself a YouTuber a bit in the art space, but hopefully one day it gets big. You know, maybe I'll reach the levels of I don't know, like Ahmed Al-Duri, like, you know, Cynics, these types of Ross draws. I mean, maybe I'm punching super high, but fuck it, life's short. And also, there's this guy named Monex, MMMMONEXX, I think. I'll try and link his channel too in the description below. I remember him, he had like a few thousand subs on YouTube, and then one day, well, not one day, but over time I saw him gain more subs, and now he has like 1+ million subs. And this guy is so freaking consistent. And what's so cool is that he doesn't always talk in his videos. He'll edit the videos obviously to make it shorter because there's a lot of space in between whenever he does draw or sketch, right? But sometimes he'll miss a day or two, but he may be the most consistent guy out there. He's Korean, I think. You know, he's one of my inspirations, I guess. And he does a lot. He does a lot of sketches too. So, because sometimes I feel somewhat insecure because I don't have a lot of full finished paintings or illustrations, and I feel like sketching is kind of a low tier art. Even though I enjoy it because I see a lot of like finished stuff online. Sometimes I feel like, oh fuck, like why can't I be that? I mean, I can, you know, like if I put my heart into it, if I put my efforts in the right place, sure I can do those types of large scale paintings and such. But I think Monex, this guy, just by sketching and showing that, or just say pursuing that whole sketching type of approach, you can build a good channel, a large successful channel with it. And it's something that people can also enjoy because not everyone wants a full painting or illustration. You know, sometimes the sketch or seeing someone sketch something that's not fully painted, but it has a raw feel to it. Sometimes that's just what people want. You know, that's just something people enjoy. And oftentimes you'll see this online where people post their best, like a super detailed painting, and then in the following post they'll do like a sketch of something, or of maybe a fan art, and then that gets like way more like attention, way more engagement, way more shares, way more likes. You know, it's kind of a meme essentially in this community. But maybe that's also something that I think may help you, or may help all of us, is we don't always have to reach that big level. That sometimes our simple drawings, our doodles, if it makes someone feel good, you know, it can work. Now, don't do it just to aim for that attention, because you can't really control this type of thing. So, this type of response or reaction. So, the best you can do is, from your perspective, is to not put so much pressure on yourself to produce the best quality content. Just produce good content that you like. Follow your curiosity. If you have a problem, share your problem. If you have a solution, share your solution. If you're struggling with something, share that struggle. If you found out a way to do something better, share your process. If you have a question, ask that question. If you have answers, share them. So you don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the one-stop shop for all the answers and, you know, in this space. You just have to pursue your path, do the best you can with what you have. That's also something that's important, because you don't have to wait to be so experienced to start sharing content or to start making art. Just start today and do it what you have and do what you can. And I think that's also something that I can share. Do what you can. You don't have to do the best you can. Just do what you can. Because some days you'll feel kind of not as good. Some days you'll feel amazing. So just by showing up, doing what you can, what you're able to do, I think that's more than enough. Over time, that consistency, that commitment will lead to competency. So we all want to be good in our craft. We all want to be amazing somewhat and be revered and respected. But that takes time. So focus on just being more committed and consistent. Because consistency, focus more on the commitment part because consistency will follow your commitment. You'll know when you're committed to something when you're consistent in that something. And once you're consistent, then you become competent in that something. I'm trying to share a bunch of ideas here for the new year 2024. And I've mentioned this plenty of times in my past videos or in my past podcasts. But yeah, I have no notes, by the way. I'm just trying to think of something. Oh shit, I'm trying to make my videos shorter, like 10 plus minus video, 10 minutes plus minus per video because it's easier to edit and obviously easier to publish on time. But and obviously I want to add some art time-lapse videos in the background, right? So I need to make some time for that as well, especially if I'm doing this more like podcast type of approach where I just focus on saying stuff without drawing live or doing a demo, right? If you're trying to see the essentials of this video, I will be posting a timestamp thing in the description. So if you're trying to get the gist of this video, if you want to focus on a specific piece of advice or concept, just skip to that timestamp. Yeah, I think I'll stop the video here. It's been 25-ish minutes. So Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of our friends out there. And let's do better this year. I know last year was a bit, for me anyway, and maybe for you, was a bit sucky. And you're kind of annoyed that, like, why am I still stuck in this same position, somewhat same position? I mean, yes, chances are you've improved in some way, but obviously we want to do even better. So do better and use some of these strategies that I've mentioned, and you can join me in this channel. Please subscribe. Like the video and start a channel. Maybe you want to make an Instagram account. Maybe you want to post on your X or Twitter account. Maybe you're into TikTok. Whatever your platform is, if you want to be one of those artists online, then you need to take the steps and do the things that those artists do. Do what you have to do this year, do what you can, and I wish you a happy new year. So I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you soon. Bye.